Welcome to Trigonometry Online. My name is Sarah Adams and I will be your instructor this quarter. I wanted to take some time to give you a tour of the course so you know kind of how to navigate all the different modules. Let's start with the home page where we are now. I assume that since you're watching this video, you've found the introduction and video tour. I do want to point out that this intro module is very important, and if you haven't gone through all the different subsets of this intro module, you should definitely do that during the first day. I have a list of things to do on the first day or before the first day, the introduction and video tour, and I will go ahead and just click on that here because I want to point out that I've also written down some things that I think is very important for you to know about the course. The overview, how it's structured, the time commitment that I'm assuming all of you need to know, the fact that there's a ton of memorization specifically in trigonometry around identities and derivations of identities, and then some ways of communicating with me. I think it's important for you to know that my office hours are student hours, and I hope that all of you make the most of them. Come find me, introduce yourself, provide that opportunity, especially if you as a student are taking other classes on campus. And there's a link to my office hours there. You can also email me or use the link where it says message your instructor inside the homework system. If you're not very comfortable with technology, there are some things that you will specifically need that are absolutely key to being successful in this online environment. You need to be able to have your own computer and have access to internet. In addition to that, I would recommend you watch this video on the snipping tool. If you've never heard of that before, that will come in very handy, assuming you're using a desktop computer for most of your work in this course. You will also need to know how to convert a handwritten page to a PDF. There are some great apps on your phones that allow you to take a picture and convert it to a PDF, and that's perfectly fine. And then never upload Google Docs to Canvas. Because of the way Google Docs are structured so that you have to release parameters, and so all I see is either nothing or a blank page or a whole bunch of error messages. So use either a PDF or a Word document, and of course you can use the library's Word program, or you can download Microsoft 365, I believe it is, if you want a free version while you're a student. Also, there are some fully online class advice lists here and a grade breakdown. While we're on the topic of grades, let's go up and click on grades. As a student, you can see a whole lot of assignments listed here, but as they are completed, you will see that there is a score assigned for each one of these assignments. If I make comments, there will also be a little bubble symbol that will pop up if you haven't read them yet. So if you see a little red dot with a number inside of it, defining how many messages you might have, or a little talking bubble, all of those things mean you probably need to read some sort of feedback I've given you. If you scroll all the way down to the very bottom of the page, there is a total right down here, and this gives you your current total percentage in the class. And if you go up to the syllabus, you can see what that converts to as a decimal grade. At the college you're enrolled in, decimal grades are how your grades are assigned. They're not letters. Scroll all the way up to the top again. So we have talked about the home screen. That's the way you could always get back to the main home page with all the modules, and all your information is right there at your fingertips. That's like your dashboard. Off to the side, you'll have your syllabus, which you can take a look at. Grades, of course, we just talked about. Announcements are always very critical pieces of information. They're usually time sensitive, like when your tests are due and when you need to sign up for testing. This link here is Zoom, and this allows you to do video conferencing with me if there's any critical deadlines or questions that you have. You can also search the whole entire Canvas course for keywords if you can't find something. And then there's also this link for people, and this will allow you to connect with other students in the class. If we go back to home once more, I want to point out the to-do list. I will caution you about the to-do list. It is exceedingly handy to have off to the side. But if you accidentally click one of these X's, it will drop that link from your to-do list. So if you hadn't completed it yet, it will disappear. Another way to double check that you're for sure not missing any assignments is to view your course calendar. Now I'm going to go to January, which is when the quarter starts for winter, but it would work the same for any quarter. All of these green rectangles represent an assignment that is due on that specific day. I do my very best to keep a consistent schedule so that all your discussion boards are the same day, all your pre-reads are the same day each week, etc. I try not to shift due dates if I can possibly manage it. From the calendar, you need to click the back button on your Internet tab to get out of the calendar view and back to the home page. If you're ever curious about specific weeks and the pacing for that week, another way to look at how I'm prioritizing your learning objectives for that week is to click on the week itself. So here is the week 1, and it covers unit circles and right triangles. I am using section 6.1 and 5.1 in the textbook as a reference. I'm also encouraging you to look at your syllabus, read the sections in your textbook, then post your prompt response for this week, post your notes done with a reading apprenticeship perspective, and then watch and follow along as you go through the mini lectures. They're usually 10 minutes, a few are a little bit longer than that, covering the concepts for those sections. Some students say that they prefer to watch the videos before they read the textbook, and others prefer to read the textbook before they watch the videos. So you can pick which way works best for you as long as you're staying ahead of all the assignments that are due. And then finally, your homework is the last thing due for the week, after which you will take a quiz and possibly do an interactive assignment. And those are not every week, but they are scattered throughout the quarter. Now, don't forget that there is also a review. And I'll go back to home. This review take-home test has its own module because it's so important. If some of you have been out of class for a long time and you need a review, this is a great place to start. I like to think of it as a way to get everyone to the same starting line. This could be a time-consuming project, and so I wouldn't put it off until the day it's due. I would give yourself maybe 10 questions a day and just try and get up to speed on all that content that is a preface to trigonometry. I look forward to getting to know you all this quarter, and I hope that this video has helped you have a better idea of how you can navigate the course. As always, feel free to come by my office and introduce yourself. I like to put a name and a face together. I wish you the very best this quarter.